In silence I dwell, a ghost beneath the skin. Eyes burned by truth, I bury deep within. The ash of my name still stains the earth. No rebirth, just a memory cursed. I scream through the static of fractured dreams. A shadow of man torn at the seams. Drown me in the crimson mist where guilt and madness coexist. The light I lost, I let it die, buried beneath the fractured sky. These hands once reached for something pure, now tremble in doubt I can't endure. A hollow vessel built from pain, cursed to walk through fire and rain. No salvation, no peace inside. Only echoes of the self I hide. Born from ash, forged in shame. You can't kill what never had a name. I was never whole, only fragments stitched together by guilt, by fear, by the silence of forever. Drown me in the crimson mist where guilt and madness coexist. The light I lost, I let it die.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the High Performance Racing League, brought to you by Van Broadcasting. And tonight, we are racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the trucks. Now, this is going to be a great race, obviously coming up on Memorial Day weekend, so it's going to be a very honorable race, very sentimental for a lot of the people out there, and honestly, my favorite track. So I'm excited to call this. In the booth tonight, we have myself, Trevor Dyer, the kid from the University of Alabama. Alongside me, we have Michael Alexich, and in the back, we have production done by Skylar over here at Van. So, Michael, Charlotte, this is an intermediate track, has a lot of banking, very fast, especially in these trucks. How do you feel about it? What are you going to be looking for?
Thank you, Trevor. Obviously, like I said, both of us are two peas in the pod. We both love coming to Charlotte. I, for one, love it, especially in the real world. Memorial Day weekend, such great tradition and so much attention around this racetrack on this weekend. But obviously, we're here for these trucks, and that is one thing that I want to focus on. The biggest thing for me, turn 4. These trucks are very long, very light in the back end. There's one thing I want to look for. It's early in these tire runs. How loose do you get rolling off a 4? Because if you get that angle just right trying to get out of it, it's real easy to get these things sideways and get a handful of it. Other than that, I think obviously, like I said, many grooves here at this racetrack that you can play with and play around in. So obviously you should be in for some good racing, but you never know around here.
Heck yeah, you already know it. And I mean, we're getting ready for this race to come together, but unfortunately, before we do get rolling, I would like to mention a very sad moment, tragedy today in the realm of NASCAR. The driver of the number 8 car Kyle Busch unfortunately passed away earlier this evening due to complications in the hospital. He's been battling sickness for the past couple of weeks since Watkins Glen, and unfortunately he passed away earlier this evening. His family has has said that they would like to keep it like very within the family for now, so not too many details on it, but all I know is he is unfortunately racing with Dale Earnhardt up in the heavens right now. So later on this race, we are going to have a competition caution on lap number 8, as is his number, in honor of him, and there will be a moment of silence for him, for y'all to be able to get your prayers in for him and his family, and God bless his son. So it's a terrible thing that happens within the sport. It's part of it, but I would like to give that special mention here earlier on in this race. But moving forward, we are getting ready to come to the grid, and with that,
I believe we're having some technical difficulties there with Trevor. With that being said, we're going to try to go ahead and start to get up our starting grid here and get us ready to go for a great day of racing here at Charlotte. Starting on the pole, the 43 of Caleb Sibbett. On the outside row, the 2 of Jesse Sperling. I'm sorry, the 29 of Jesse Sperling. P3 is going to be the 7 of Jason Baker. P4 is going to be the 5 of Derek Grigsby. P5 is going to be the 24 of Christopher Hockley. P6, the 2 of Mickey Sonadara. P7, we're going to have the 8 of Emil Duna. P8, we're going to have the 26 of Jared Mahone. P9, the 58 of Joshua Baker. P10, the 46 of Justin Walters. P11, the 83 of CJ Brewer. P12, the 3 of Seth Owens. And in P13, we have the 12 of Chris Griffin. P14, the 4 of Brett Vinson. And in P15, the 51 of Patrick Schaefer. And that is your starting grid. I believe we're having some technical difficulties with Trevor, so we're going to let him try to recalibrate here. We're going to get ready and get set here for a long day of Charlotte. We have 134 laps on today, so a good bit of a race. Obviously, we hit. Let's see if I can find out how many sets of tires we have here for y'all. Try to see if we can go ahead and try to get some early strategy counts here. And I believe Trevor is back. Trevor, do we have you here?
yes, sir, I am. Unfortunately, my headset cut out for God knows what reason, but I am back for the rest of this race. And with us, we actually have the 43 of Caleb Sibbett, our pole sitter. Caleb, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Awesome. How you feeling for this race tonight?
Yeah, no, I know everybody's hearts are with Kyle Busch and his family. I wanted to throw it back to one of his cool Coke 600 schemes, but hope to honor him a little bit. Got it on the pole. Hope to lead a lot of laps and get a little rowdy for him tonight.
Yes, sir. That'll be an awesome way to represent for him in his memory. No, we've got that competition caution for him on lap number 8, but I gotta ask, I mean, we are on the broadcast, so I can't ask too much, but you've already put down the qualifying lap. Talk us through a qualifying lap. How'd you do it?
Yeah, no, it's really slow compared to what we were doing in practice, 29s or so, 30.13 I think at the pole. Surprised me a little bit. Track's a little bit more loose. Guys are just gonna have to take it easy, let these tires wear in a little bit, and we'll get after it. Let's get them warmed up a little bit though.
I got you. Tire heat is very crucial to keep the truck connected to that ground. I won't keep you too long as the lights are out on that pace truck, but good luck there, Caleb Sibbett. We'll be watching you.
Sir.
And that was our pole sitter for tonight, Mr. Caleb Sibbett. And the lights are out on this pace truck. We're coming back to green, or coming to green for the first time around for this Memorial Day weekend Coke, or it's not the Coke 600, this is the trucks, but Charlotte race in the HPRL.
Out of the way, and here we go. Green flag here from Charlotte. We see Caleb Sibbett go ahead and pull ahead to a big lead. That'll lead to 7 on the inside, and Jesse Sperling there on that outside line is going to lose a little bit of ground. Going to try to roll that high side and get a run down off the corner here. Sibbett pulls away. 7 takes ahead. Hockley on the inside of Sperling, and then Mildoon is also trying to stick his nose into there. We can see Sperling still stuck on that outside. Oh, big wheel on the 5. Big wreck behind. Oh. Huge wreck, including the 5, and I believe I saw Jared Mahone in that as well. Let's see if we can get a replay here.
I do believe that that is a early fast repair already, because I saw that number 5 car or truck go ahead and go into the pits. So let's see what happens.
Oh, he just overcorrects, getting it loose and catches. The 4 got caught up in that. Jared Mahone as well, also involved in that one. We see him immediately come to pit road.
And we were just talking about cold tires, and that really highlights what we're talking about. So these race tires are meant to be run within a certain threshold of tire temperature that produces the most tackiness, because when rubber heats up, it expands and the pores are able to actually go out and grip the track. So if the tire is not within those tire temperatures, then there's not going to be that much grip compared to when it would be within that certain range. And so on these early restarts, especially at intermediate tracks like this where it can kind of get slick, it can really shine like we just saw there.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful here, especially in the beginning of these runs. Like I said, we're going to try to keep an eye on that. Maybe we get these stage breaks on the rollback out. Maybe somebody need to watch. Somebody maybe trying to push hard to make up ground. Maybe make it a little snappy like that. And I think it's only going to get worse as the track gets cooler as we get later on into the night here.
Most definitely. But with it being cold, as the night creeps in, lap times do actually increase, funny as it is, because you can run the tire harder. So we will see how these drivers are able to handle all that early in this race.
See if we have any takers down pit road here as Caleb Sibbett follows very tight there on the back of that pace truck. Looks like we got 3 on pit road. Yeah, probably a couple of those are from damage, trying to get those trucks fixed back up. Maybe not want to use that fast repair. They're taking some time to get them worked on. And we'll see if we're 1 to green here. We might be coming this time. We'll see. Just a second here. Looks like they're trying to form up. And the lights are off. We are going to be 1 to green here, getting ready to come back around to the green flag.
Yes, sir. And you know that there's a lot of emotions going within these race car drivers right now. The beginning of the race, for me at least, is always the hardest, because you've got that bubble gut. You're kind of nervous. You know, you don't know what's going to happen within the next few laps, whether you've got a short run or long run pace. And so I'm sure that there's a lot of anticipation going on behind those helmets.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. You know, I think the biggest thing for me is when you get to the start of these races, you don't really know how everybody's going to drive. You know, you may come into this mindset of thinking, all right, I'm going to take care of my tires and try to make this run go a little bit longer. And you get in here and everybody's blazing around you a million miles an hour on a push. So now you got to decide whether you're going to stay with your plan or you got to almost push a little bit harder now to not lose too much here on the start of these runs. And so it really is just, it's almost going to be a mad scramble or complete of what you think it is. And then you're just prepared, ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir. And lights are out on the pace truck. It's getting ready to pull in. Caleb Sibbett there in that beautiful 43 car, uh, almost looking like he's pushing it, saying, "Hey, I'm ready to race. Let's get this going." And so they are coming back to green. They are almost in the restart box for restart number 1.
Here we are. We are back to green. Caleb Sibbett with a huge jump off of it there. No one's going to be close to Sibbett here. Christopher Hockley and Joshua Baker there side by side. Jesse Sperling right behind these two. And then we have Emil Duna and Mickey Sonodara battling it out behind them. As we roll on down the back stretch, a little side by side, a couple side by side actually. Everybody usually trying to get back in the line here. As we see the 7 stay here on the high side. He's going to try to get a run here and try to catch up to Christopher Hockley. So Phillips still leading away here as a 24. Christopher Hockley trying to run him down.
And you can see a lot of the field is already kind of tucked in, a lot of single file. There's still some battling back on into the pack. I mean, you can see 2 wide back there towards the rear end, but a lot of these drivers know how much this track can degrade tires if you're not paying attention. So a lot of these people are opting to say, hey, I'm just going to tuck in behind this person behind me. It's a long race. Let's not tear up no race car, and let's go. As we're actually watching Seth Owens there, and then we've got, I believe this is Joshua Baker. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I mean, a lot of people just opting, especially, you know, maybe because they know that competition caution's already coming up, so they're just trying to make it there, maybe push a little bit more then. But as I'm saying that, there's actually a little bit more battling going on, and I do believe that this is our competition caution to honor Kyle Busch. So during the duration of this caution, I'm going to have a little quiet moment, say a few prayers, and just leave these laps for Kyle Busch there. And we are coming back to green, actually. I do believe the lights are out on the pace truck. Maybe not, but we just celebrated did the memorial lap for Kyle Busch there. And again, you know, if they're, I mean, it's just such a hard thing to talk about when you lose someone within the motorsport realm. someone that you may look up to, someone whom, has those around him that are close. And so it's very tough losing a loved one, as is for everybody. So, but we do have a race going on still, so they are coming back, and the lights are going to go out on the pace truck this lap, and this is actually going to give a nice opportunity to look over towards the comments. So Caleb Sibbett, our pole sitter, actually got a shout out from Tony Sibbett, congratulating him on that pole. I presume a couple. Uh-oh, I got corrected again. But we do have Thaddeus, whom is a commentator usually, but he is currently out of town for tonight. But he's out there saying rowdy forever. And a couple of heckles on the fact that the name of the stream itself says that we're racing at Dover, even though we are not. So we will have that corrected within the next week for this broadcast, and it will be corrected next week for the next broadcast. So coming down into turn 3, about to be in turn 4, we do have Caleb Sibbett still leading this race. I mean, it has been 8 laps or less of green flag racing, but I mean, there's been a lot of carnage already happened. We've already seen people use their fast repair, a lot of action already, and there's more to come as we come back to green, ladies and gentlemen. As he enters the restart zone now, we are green. And down into turn 1, Caleb Sibb was able to get a great jump on that. Baker's still behind, although Hockley is almost looking for a move on Baker there. These top 3, they've been able to really be able to pull away from this field a little bit in the early laps here. But we do have a new familiar face behind them, Sanadara, who is, ever since joining this league, has been able to do very well in this. But behind him we have Seth Owens that is actually just overtaken for 5th place, and it looks like he's going to keep the momentum going as he looks low on Sanadera going into turn number 3. I think he's going to be able to get this one. He clears him for the moment. Is Sanadera going to be able to get the momentum? No, and he's actually under attack from Joshua Baker there as well, that moved up into 5th place. Sanadera moving back a little bit. Maybe I got him a little bit of that commentator's curse. I'm sorry if I did. Behind him we have Sperling as well, who's been a very hard hitter, heavy hitter in this season as well. Looking at it, a lot of it has kind of fell into single file. Emil Duna behind him actually in that beautiful Coca-Cola truck. But, I mean, a lot of it up front is single file. Here in the back, they are trying to move up. They know that they have to get something done if they want to get something done early, that is, if they want stage points. And you can see that right there with Jared Mahone, who has done very well this season, has multiple race wins, and he's trying for a move on Emil Duna, who is doing a very good job at defending against that low line. He's able to carry the momentum off the high line so that on the straights he has the speed to almost move past Mahone, who's still climbing that bottom. So it's kind of a unstoppable force, immovable object kind of deal right here. And behind them, it's opening up the door. But we do have a battle for the lead almost forming, as Sibbett only has 1/10 of a second on Baker there. And I'd expect to see a move here pretty soon as he almost looks outside. Oh man, they are battling hard. It is a multi-groove track here at Charlotte, and so there's a lot of opportunities for passing, many different things you can do, and boom, Baker goes for it. He's below Sibbett, but can Sibbett keep the momentum going off the corner? Yes, he can. So the lead is still within Sibbett's hands, and he actually cleared him on that one, said, no, the lead is mine, and you cannot take it. So we're seeing these leaders battle it out hard here. Michael.
Yeah, obviously hard battling here. If you look behind, it's brought Seth Owens right to these two, though. As now we see Jason Baker on the high side of Caleb Sibbett. We'll see if he's going to be able to clear him here with a run off of 4. Seth Owens right behind Jason's going to try to almost get the air in that draft, try to follow him through. Jason clear, Seth Owens clear, both passing Sibbett there. I'm interested to see how this group's going to be on the tires. Maybe we get a little bit later into this run, especially with how hard they're pushing right there, especially the 43 and the 7 when two battling each other. As you can see, this 5-car breakaway is pulled away from the rest of the pack by about 2 seconds, if my math is right. I mean, a good bit of distance between these 5 and behind. You can see right there as we see Hockley with Sibbett on his outside and Joshua Baker right behind him. As your leader, Jason Baker, still going strong right here with Seth Owens trying to get any air he can to get around him here. We'll keep watching on this group of 5 right here, staying single file, and we see a couple groups behind them, all singles file as well. Not much battling going on here. Everybody probably trying to save a little bit of tire, trying to make them last as far as they can go. We'll keep an eye on this. Just keep watching on. Trevor, you see anything?
Yes, sir. And I mean, as you said, this top 5 has been able to pull a very comfortable gap, but here comes Mahone. He was actually involved in that lap 1 incident, and he has moved all the way up to P6 right now. P7, P6. He's still battling for it with Jesse Sperling there, but he's had a very good recovery drive thus far. I mean, yes, he's still quite a ways away from the top 5, but he is showing A, incredible pace, and B, showing, yes, I can be up in that fight. And so as these stages comes, which by the way is for points, and he is in a points paying position, when those stages comes, he'll be able to be in the right spot to capitalize to get him in that top 5 spot, as he's showing that he can do. But looking back up to the top 5, and they are still battling. Caleb Sibbett has actually lost the lead for the moment here. He's fallen back to P2, currently battling with Seth Owens there in that 3 car. And I'm telling you, Baker, he took that and he was able to open up a gap because Seth Owens and Caleb Sibbett are fighting so hard at the moment. And that's one thing. These 5 trucks, they were able to work away. They stayed a lot of single file early on. Now that they have that gap, they are able to battle it out and not have to worry about losing all those spots. So, I mean, this is going to shape up for a very good battle for the stage win, assuming it goes green flag. Michael?
Yeah, definitely want to keep our eye on here as Hockley looking back under Joshua Baker there. These two keep flipping around with each other. So we're riding along, I believe this is the 24. Nope, it's the 3 of Seth Owens. Thank you. Riding along here with the 3 of Seth Owens. We see him right behind Caleb Sibbett, still trying to run him down. As we see Christopher Hockley now is going to look under the 3 here. See, I'm a big guy here at Charlotte. I love to run that blue line down there. The blue paint is really where I want to put my truck, my car, wherever I run here. I usually like the low side. A lot of these guys on the high side, you know, it's sometimes a little bit faster, but you can also sometimes use a little bit more tire just because usually you're putting a little bit more pressure on it to really slide it up and keep the speed. So, like I said, it's kind of that give and take of you can run the high side and then run a little bit of the low side, try to cool them back off. As we see Hockley is cleared the 3, and he will be sitting there in P3 trying to go run down Caleb Sibbett. We see Seth Owens right up against the wall. Good gracious, you don't get much higher than that. As we see Owens ride the wall right there. Joshua Baker still on the inside there. Christopher Hockley's now going to get Caleb Sibbett here, and he should be able to clear if he can get a run out of the corner here. See what he does. Watching on, and he will. He is clear. Christopher Hockley. I think, like I said, I think Let me speak. I think Sibet burned up a little bit too much tire there on that first run battling with the 7, so I think obviously he's not going to have a lot of longer run speed here just because he burned so much of it off, but we'll keep an eye on Christopher Hockley and see if we can run him down.
And one thing about this track, if you have a very hard corner entry, it's very easy to burn up your tires very quick, especially here in these trucks. Because one thing about it, you can get so tempted to just push for it, and you can get some incredible speed on corner entry. But the thing is, if you keep on doing it lap after lap, and over a run, maybe you say you get into a battle like we're watching here between Jared Mahone and Sperling. They've been side by side for a couple laps now, and what it does, that outside line tends to actually burn up that rear right tire and the front right tire, depending on your driving style, of course. But once you put that heat in the tire, it's pretty much a one-way street. There's no going back, and so you have to wait until you change your tires to get that heat out of it, which is practically a foreign concept when you're in the middle of a stage and know you can't pit without risking going a lap down. As I was over there yapping about tire heat, Mahone has actually been able to seal the deal on Sibet and actually taken that P6 spot back, as they are actually coming up on Seth Owens. And oh no, Sperling said, I'm going back in front. So Mahone lost that spot right there at the end, but I do believe we have a caution.
Yes, Trevor, that is indeed the end of stage 1. Your winner, Jason Baker, stage 1 winner here.
Yes, sir. And I mean, that was a very interesting stage there early on. Obviously, we had the Memorial, had early wrecks, had some really good racing. So I'm excited to see what this race is shaping up to be.
I agree. And while we have this moment and get these guys probably going to go in for some fresh rubber here, we're going to go ahead and shout out us today. Obviously, today's broadcast is brought to you by VAN, VAN, which is Veterans and Affiliated Networking. Are you a veteran? Have you done your service? Are you interested in iRacing? Do you like listening to us? Yeah. Do you like watching these cars go around in circles? Good news for you. You can do it as well. Through VAN, we try to reach out to veterans and try to get them everything iRacing. That includes making paints, that includes driving lines, and that includes talking with us knuckleheads up here and just having a great time. If you have any questions or you're any kind of interest, please email van at veterans and affiliated networking at gmail.com. Obviously, Thaddeus is not here, but in honor of him, get in the van.
Yes, sir, indeed. Do get into the van, but as we were doing that intro, I have been able to pull up my trivia questions for tonight. So you can answer these in the comments. Last week, I got a couple of these wrong. So, hey, you can call me out here. This is your free pass to heckle me. But so this track is often considered the blank of motorsports. That is question number 1. And question number 2, what is the degrees of banking at this track? And so I'm excited to see these. And if you want to throw in a third question, what year was the Roval configuration properly introduced to this track? So we'll give y'all a few minutes to simmer on that. I'll look over here at the comments. And one thing about the comments, if you have any questions, anybody you want to shout out, hey, you can get your driver on the broadcast for free. And love talking to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen over here in the chat. So, I mean, shout out your driver. I mean, there's a lot of like very niche things about these trucks that Michael and I have the pleasure to know. So if you have any questions, maybe how the truck drives, how the track drives, feel free to hop over in the comments and ask us away.
You know, Trevor, I sat here thinking, I don't even think I know when they introduced the Roval. I'm trying to think of what year it could be, but while we give them a minute, try to go crunch the numbers and think about that, let's see if we can try to get a camera on some of these schemes we got here with us tonight. Looking at the front, obviously, you know, Memorial Day weekend, a mix of rowdy energy going on out here, and a little bit of Memorial Day, a little patriotic theme as well, as we see the 7 up here with a rowdy energy, the 24 with a beautiful American flag scheme, 43 with, I believe it's a 2022 Kyle Busch M&M scheme there. Seth Owens in the 3. Oh, gonna hop to Joshua Baker here in his usual blue and white machine. Got a little bit of a shout out to the van car back here and Jesse Sperling. A little bit of work done to that one. Obviously looking good out there. To his outside, you can see the 3 of Seth Owens in that beautiful PBR car there. We have the 2 of Mickey Sonadar and what would be Kyle Busch's truck car this weekend. Obviously the 4-car salute that HendrickCars.com has got going on. Got the 14 of Emil Duna and the beautiful Coca-Cola polar bear on that hood car machine there. Behind him, we have the 5 of Grigsby, and I believe that is a Kyle Busch-inspired scheme. 12 Griffin in the Skittles car, and we are going green, so let's get our eyes back on that. And here we go. We are back green here from Charlotte, as Jason Baker gets a huge jump there. Sibbett on the bottom, Hockley on the outside, and here we go.
Coming down in turn number 1, Hockley over there on the outside in that beautiful 24 truck, trying to overtake, and he does overtake Caleb Sibbett there that was sitting in 3rd. He's getting pushed by Joshua Baker, who actually dives low on him, says, no, I'm going to try and follow my brother there, and hop up into 2nd place, but did not quite work. I think I saw a little bit of tire slippage there. Hey, we were just talking about how cold tires affect these trucks. And what's this? Here comes Seth Owens in the number 3 truck. He's over there attacking, I believe that's Caleb Sibbett there in the M&M's truck. Seth Owens, obviously, trying to get up there and battle for that lead. He's having a really good day up there in top 5. He's been top 5 a lot of this race. Looking over, they are starting to put a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field, this top 5 is. So they're battling right now, which is going to bring them back to the field. But if they go single file like they did last stage, it very well could turn out like it did last stage and have a pretty decent gap to the field behind them, which is still battling actually.
As we watch on, we see the 2 of the Baker brothers here on the head of this field, Jason and Joshua taking over. As we see Joshua, he's not really been sitting behind his brother. He's actually ripping that highlight. He's probably trying to get a run here and try to set up a move going into 3. We'll see if he gets there. Christopher Hockley there in P3 tucked behind. But like I said, these 2 Baker brothers, Joshua and Jason, out front here at Charlotte, having a little bit of a brotherly contest between the 2 of them. Like I said, we see Jason keeps running that low line. Joshua keeps going. As we say that, here comes a crossover there. We're going to see Joshua get underneath his brother here. Let's see how they go here. As we see the field on back running past that camera there. And he will clear Joshua Baker to the point, past Jason. And that still has Christopher Hockley P3, Seth Owens up to P4. Sibbett kind of hanging around. I think Sibbett's going to take a little bit more patience on those tires. We see Jason shading below the 58 there, looking for a little bit of a window to try to get that truck turned down there. Not quite enough, as we see Joshua Baker hold on.
And a lot of this top 5, I mean, we're seeing a lot of battling there, but this top 5 has actually fell single file now. The battling's over, and instead of top 5, rather I should say top 4, as these top 4 have a slight gap to P number 5. Which is Caleb Sibbett there, which is a little bit further back, and he is actually being contested by Derek Grigsby. I know we have some Grigsby fans too that watch these broadcasts, so you know, there's your driver right there. He's trying to overtake to get into the top 5 here. I mean, he's ripping that high line, He's got the overspeed, and he's almost looking for a move, as you saw him lift a little bit there. So I'm actually going to do a in-car walkthrough for this track. So coming to the start-finish line, you're flat out. You're up into the 170s. I want to say it tops out at 178. There you go. Lift a little into turn 1 and try and get that turn in and early on throttle, right about there, full throttle, and all the way down this backstretch. And he's in the draft, which means he's going to get even more speed. 180 there, lifts a little bit of brake just to get the truck turned in, and you rip that seam. And coming off full throttle, coming right back where we started, ladies and gentlemen.
Trevor, we got a great battle going on here at P1. Jason gets back under Joshua to take the lead back, and Joshua better hope he doesn't leave that window too for Christopher Hockley to come get underneath him there. Going to keep on watching here. It's going to hold on to it because, like I said, Christopher Hockley's closed that gap up to Joshua Baker, and he's going to get tired of waiting behind these two, especially with them. Like I said, these two brothers are going to try to keep the hold on it, and as I say right there, here comes Christopher Hockley underneath Joshua Baker. Got to run on that turn down. He should be clear going into one here. Seth Owens is going to try to follow him under there.
And it appears he actually cycled all the way back out to P4 as he just fell back in line with Seth Owens there, ripping that high line. And that actually puts him kind of close to Derek Grigsby, who's able to overtake Caleb Sibbett there for P5, and he's up into the front pack battle now. He's within that draft for Joshua Baker. And let's see if he's able to capitalize on this. He's still running that high line, which does have a good bit of speed advantage if you're able to do it. I do believe that is actually the qualifying strat. And what's this? Derek Grigsby is going low on Joshua Baker there. It's really hard to get it to stick there on that low line. But if you can just contest that car, just stay beside that car, eventually what happens a lot of times, that top car is able to make maybe a little bit of a mistake, maybe not get quite as good as a run, and you're able to capitalize on that on the low line, which is shortcutting the track, and you'll be able to slide up in front of them and take that spot. So a lot of moves available. Of course, you can go back up to the top side and just rip on around them, but what a lot of drivers will do is actually block that high line if they see somebody coming. So a lot of potential for overtaking here tonight.
As we watch on here, we still see Grigsby trying to get back to Joshua. Joshua Baker holding on so straight line with these front six here. A little bit of a gap back there to P7 of Jesse Sperling. So this head group once again pulled away again. As we look at this back group here we go. We have Emil Aduna, Mickey Sonodara, the 4, and I can't tell the other one. Wait a second. I believe that is CJ Brewer back there as well. Keep on watching here with these 4 here. This is the back of the pack here. These 4 all battling it out as we ride along here with Mickey Sonodara, trying to wheel this truck here behind Emil Duna in that Coca-Cola machine. Get a nice view of the gyroscope cam.
And this is a battle for 11th place back there. I mean, this isn't the biggest field we've had here in the HPRL, but I mean, everybody knows it. Everybody knows all these drivers pretty much. I mean, these are some really good drivers. And so this is going to be a very hard competition. I mean, we do see a spread from first to last of about 5.5 seconds, which is pretty dang strung out. I mean, it really goes to show how much competition there is. I mean, we've seen multiple lead changes, a lot of people showing their racecraft with the different lines. And so, I mean, I've just got to say, I'm really, really excited to be calling this race. Seth Owens actually up 7 positions. He has the most positions gained, and he is up in the top 5. I mean, he just overtook for P number 4 there that last lap. I mean, Seth Owens having a really good day, but here comes Caleb Sibbett on the bottom. Sibbett, he's been battling his heart out all race. I mean, he started there on pole. He's had a little bit of misfortune, and it's caused him to get a little bit further back than maybe he would have wanted. But he's still having a really good day. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's one thing to say, yeah, I qualified P1, but once you qualify P1, that kind of lets people know, hey, I've got the pace. And so what a lot of drivers will do, myself included actually, is if you're not, still staying up there, you'll kind of lower your expectations a lot. But I mean, all things said, he's having a really great day. He's consistently stayed in the top 5, and I think that he is in the running to potentially win this race. But looking a little further ahead, about numbers are hard. 8 minus 2 would be 6, about a 6/10 gap between P2 and P3 there. And P2 is still right on the leader there of, I do believe that's Jason Baker, there leading this race.
I know, Trevor, obviously numbers can't be difficult sometimes. That's why we're here to try to make it a little bit easier. As we watch on here, Jason Baker is still your leader. Christopher Hockley, about 3/10 off. He's kind of been steady around there. Joshua Baker has fallen off a little bit. Caleb Sibbett still P4, and Derek Grigsby up to P5. Seth Owens P6, and Sperling P7. So you watch on, like I said, not much action going on around here. We just, like I said, logging laps here as we see. Here comes Sperling. As soon as I say that, Jesse Sperling to the inside of Seth Owens. Let's see if he's able to make this pass here going into 1. Go right on here. Everybody else pretty spaced out amongst the field. It's one thing I think is kind of hard with a smaller field we have today. We have a few guys out. They might be traveling for this weekend, as me and Trevor will both be doing. I'll be headed there tomorrow to get ready for this Memorial Day weekend up there in Charlotte. So we will try to have as much as we can for here. But like I said, with a lesser field, it's hard to kind of really make huge changes to the strategy. We don't have a lot of cars out here to really take up air. It really just kind of I'm not saying bogs down the race, but it kind of just makes it a little bit easier on how to strategize for it. You don't have to think about, all right, what's 30 cars going to do. It's a lot easier now to where you can play it out and kind of just experiment as you go. And like I said, you're not going to have too many cars to lose if you do go get tired on a late race pit stop or something like that. Trevor?
Most definitely, and so a lot of strategy to take account for. And as you were saying that, actually, you shout out Sperling, who is up to P6. He's been having to battle an uphill battle, but he does have some inspiration. Miss Lisa over there in the comments cheering him on. Let's go, Sperling. So all the motivation that he can get there, as he is only about a half a second off of P5 there. So potentially we can see some battling in the coming laps for P number 5 with Sperling. But looking back, we do actually have a battle right now. P11, I do believe. That would be Walters and Sanadara. Or no, CJ Brewer, sorry. No, again, I say numbers are hard. But we do have a battle here for P11, and they have been side by side for a couple laps now, as I've been yapping for quite a while. And it just now kind of filtered out, and Walters was able to confirm that spot. Still 1 second, almost 2 behind Sanadara. And this really highlights one thing. Once you fall out of the draft at a track like this, Charlotte, you do need the draft to stay pretty much up there with them, because if not, then you can see a lot of people, it's really easy to get kind of spaced out. And so the draft, maybe not as big a factor as, say, I don't know, Daytona or Atlanta, Hot Atlanta as I call it, but it's still going to be a factor at some of these intermediates, as we can see here at Charlotte.
Yep, always, not to say like it's not a huge factor like we have the drafting tracks of Atlanta, but it definitely helps, one, stay together, but also kind of make moves. You get a little bit of draft, like we saw Sibley right here. You can use that draft, whether it be side draft or get behind and then pull under. You can use that to try to get a little bit more speed to set up your passes here in these corners. But like I said, it's hard to pass directly behind somebody with one with the banking, but two with that dirty air these trucks give off. You really kind of want to use the runs that you're able to generate to help you make these passes. As we look on, we have 6 more laps here in this stage. Well, our next stage rate will be at lap 65. So a little bit later there, as we see looking through, we still have Jason Baker leading this thing around. Hockley has fallen off to 8/10 off now. So obviously, Jason able to keep pulling away. Hasn't really had much to worry about most of the day. He's kind of just been sitting all by himself up there as Tibbet and Joshua Baker still go at it side by side. This is for make sure I get my number right. P3. We watch them go side by side. I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe. Please go ahead.
Apologies there, Michael, and as we were watching them duke it out in these closing laps of stage number 2, we're getting ready to go to stage number 3, which is going to actually be half of the race distance from the time that they hit the green flag all the way to the end of the race. So that's going to be a huge factor with the placement of where you are in this field for that long stage, and you've got to really take care of your tires because it's going to be hard at a track like this to be able to keep it going all the way there. And so again, reminding you, stage number 2 is going to be at lap number 65. And I've got to say, Jason Baker, he's got about a second gap between him and Hockley. He has been able to really dominate this stage. And so this is going to be a really good points day for him as far as the stages, because keep in mind, every single stage, the top 10 get 10 points, or I want to say, depending on how HPRL does their points, but they get a lot of points from these stages, P1 through 10. So that's going to be a huge factor on the championship, as it has been all year. So this is going to be a good points day for him, regardless of where he finishes at the end of the race, just to be able to get a good couple of stages, because he finished well last stage as well. And we do have a yellow, and that is stage, ladies and gentlemen. Michael?
Yep, stage 2, your winner once again, Jason Baker, able to hold on for that one. Thought it came out a lap early. Trying to make sure we didn't have a wreck there. I thought it was supposed to come out on 65. Trying to see if maybe I didn't make sure I didn't miss anything here. I think we may have had actually an accident. See if we can try to rewind. I think maybe the 2 might have some damage. Like I said, I think that caution came out a lap early. We'll see if we can look back over that and see if we can catch anything there. You see the 2 there with the 12 of Griffin. Let's see what happens here. Getting the draft. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is right there. Oh, a handful. Mahone also gets a little bit of front end damage as we see the 4 and the 12. I'm sorry, the 2 and the 12 go for a ride, and Griffin just backs up onto the nose of Sonadara there. Like I said, I thought we came out a lap early. I was trying to make sure to see if I could catch anything, but that would be why we're a stage early. But that would still be, I'll still be stage 2 there. Just a little bit extra spice there before we go into the pits here.
Most definitely. I do believe that is going to be a fast repair on at least one of those trucks. So unfortunate event for them, but luckily they do get a caution for that. But as we are on stage number 2, on the intermission here, I would like to go back and answer those questions. I see a couple of people in the chat that have responded, and Tony Sibbett was correct. 24 degrees of banking is what it is at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I do see one wrong. So Charlotte is actually considered the quote-unquote mecca of motorsports, not capital. So unfortunate for Sharon Sibbett, but Mecca of motorsports. And I didn't see anybody answer this one, not even Michael. The Roval was actually introduced in 2018. And so that's when the infield kind of came together for, the Roval race every year. So kind of interesting tidbits for that.
It is. I agree. Like I said, I knew the Roval was around that time. I was trying to think because obviously Charlotte had gone through some major modifications here to make that infield able to be run here, and it just added another layer here to Charlotte for them to want to bring not just NASCAR here like they used to do, but also open it up to other series. You know, obviously we don't have IndyCar here, but it opens up for sports cars like the MX-5 Cup, really popular here at a lot of road courses. Maybe NASCAR tracks go to, including Daytona. You know, it just adds another layer of how you can sell and market this track and pretty much bring more attention to this track. You know, you bring the MX-5s, you bring people to say, hey, well, I'm here. I'll go watch a NASCAR race. You know, come out here for these, whether it's trucks, the Cup, or the O'Reilly cars. You know, this just takes stuff like that to try to build that crowd and build that audience to view these races.
Most definitely, and actually, kind of a smaller known trivia on my part. They actually race karts here on that Roval, so it's called a road, just a road cart where it's set up for top end, and even the CIK chassis will race here on the banks. I don't believe that they have to do the chicane on the backstretch, but it's actually kind of a cool bit of information. And actually, one of the members in Van has raced on it. That would be Jordan Johnson. So kind of a cool bit of information there. But the lights are out on the pace truck. We are coming back to green, and this stage number 3 is going to be 67 laps, holding back from last week, but 67 laps. These trucks have to make it. I don't know what the exact fuel stop is, but it's going to be hard to make these tires last all that way. So pace truck is out. Let's see how these drivers handle it as we are entering the restart zone, and Jason Baker is away.
Down and away we go. 67 down, 6-7 to go. Jason Baker fires off in that 7 truck with a huge lead once again. Joshua Baker right behind him. Hockley and Sibbett battling for P3 side by side as they roll out of turn 2, headed towards turn 3.
Into turn 3 now. Oh! Big contact. I saw a truck perpendicular. That would be the 3 of Seth Owens. Oh my word.
No.
Again, I say, I think the cold tires got that one. Let's watch this freaking replay.
Watching on here, the onboard of the 3. You'll see him going into 3 here. Let's see if he just gets a little loose. All right, there you can see him just get a little bit loose in the middle of that corner, rolling towards 4, and just enough to where Jared Mahone caught him. Here we go. Should we get a better view here? See sideways there. Mickey Sanadara checks up for him, but Jared Mahone is not able to get away from that one, and unfortunately just catches Seth Owens right in his lap.
Tough break for both of them there, and I wouldn't say that I didn't see too much damage. It just looked like it got them around, but unfortunate. I mean, we are 3 for 3 for starts coming off of first the initial start, then stage number 2, and now stage number 3 start. Every time these cold tires have crept up on somebody, and so again, I mean, these racing is not easy, obviously. And that really just goes to show how difficult it is for these drivers on tonight.
Agreed, Trevor. Like I said, looking on here, Joshua Baker's actually able to grab the lead off of that little bit of anarchy back there. Looking through, we have Joshua Baker, Jason Baker, Christopher Hockley, Caleb Sibbett, Grigsby, Sperling, Senadar, Brewer, Vincent, as we look on pit road here. We have one truck rolling. Let's see if we can catch the number of this one. It should be a Ram. That'll be Walters coming out, and here comes Owens down and away. May have not needed a fast repair there, but may have used. I don't think so. He did use it, so we are being told. So he has used his fast repair here. Obviously, don't want to use it this early into such a long run here towards the end of this race, but obviously you don't want to be too far back with it being so green. And once we get out of these little beginning of the stages, once we get the tires warmed up, it's been really good green flag racing.
Most definitely, and actually somebody that's been battling hard and using his talent to get up there, Derek Grigsby. Actually, this is a comment that got almost a little bit overlooked, so sorry about that. But Derek Grigsby has got a shout out there in the comments. He's doing very well tonight, and I'm excited to see how he handles the rest of this race. But he's got that shout out from Old Money Cards. If you need some trading cards, it's on eBay, and you can just look them up at Old Money Cards, and they've got a lot of cool stuff over there in that shop. I've heard a lot about it and seen a little bit of it myself, and so it's a pretty cool place. So you should go check it out. As they've actually, I do believe that they actually did a sponsorship for a race earlier in the season. So you should go check them out. And the lights are off the pace truck. Michael, bring us back to green.
Roger that, Trevor. Obviously, always good to come back to green here. Looking back, you have Joshua Baker on number 1. You have Caleb Sibbett, P2, Christopher Hockley, and that beautiful van truck of Jesse Sperling, P4, Grigsby 5, CJ Brewer 6. We have, please by tracking, Sonadara at 7, Griffin at 8, Vincent 9th, Mahone 10th, Duna 11, Owen 12, Walters 13, and Jason Baker 14th. As we roll around here, pace truck's going to peel off, rolling down into the zone. Joshua Baker does have the command here on him. Rolling to the zone, and here we go. Back green, Joshua Baker immediately with a jump. Christopher Hockley right behind him on his tails going through. Let's see if he can clear Sibbett going into one here. Hockley on the inside of Sibbett, side by side right there. Hockley driving to everything he's got. Jesse Sperling, P4. We look back, 2x2, 3 rows deep behind him. Hockley gets low there. Sibbett's going to try to get that draft. Let's see if Hockley's able to drive it off here. He will drive it into 3. Let's keep Sibbett behind him. Jesse Sperling, Sonadar, and Grigsby side by side here. Sperling trying to fight for everything he can. He's, like I said, haven't really seen him up here in the top 5 yet, but glad to see Sperling able to make some moves, work his way up here. As he's going to look inside here on Caleb Sibbett. Jesse Sperling going for a move here early in this run. See if he's able to clear him. And he will. Jesse Sperling up to P3. Passing Caleb Sibbett there. Let's see if Sibbett goes back under. Nope, Sibbett's going to be nice. Back it down there in that corner. Jesse Sperling slides up just a little bit behind Hockley. Sibbett behind him. Grigsby. Oh, Sonadar. A little bit of a rub on their forward Vincent there. As we see this line in single file until we go to the corner. We're going to go back 2 wide. Sperling high. Sibbett low. Grigsby high. Sonadar low. Sperling gripping the wall up there. Let's see where Jesse goes for a move here. Let's see. Maybe. No, got the door shut on him by Hockley. Still side by side back. Grigsby on the high side. Sibbett and Sonadara battle it out now. Sonadara is going to try to go for the crossover. Sibbett blocks it low. Mickey's still searching for it. He's going to go down there. Here we go. Side by side, back into 1 and 2. Who drops it hard? Get it clear? Yes, he can. Sonadara clears the 43. The 43 under attack here. Bleeding spots, but then again, he may be saving tires for later in this run. We'll have to wait and see, but as of right now, he is under attack here as a couple of trucks have already got past him. We see the 4, the next one behind them. We'll see if Sibbett's going to try to push a little bit here. Keep saying that strategy, trying to save those tires.
And we saw it last week at Dover, where actually running your own line and kind of letting the people go and letting them come back to you with tire wear is a very viable strategy. We saw it last week with our winner who was able to go from, I want to say he was running dead last or very close to it at one point in the race. And by the end of the run, he was in the lead and overtook in the last, I want to say 10 laps to get the lead to win the race. And so very viable strategy. Say, hey, just go ahead, and there is a caution out on the track. Is
46
that
of
that's
Walters.
Walters?
Don't see a lot of damage. Maybe a self spin here. Let's see if we can catch a ride on here. Jason Baker behind him.
Oh.
Squeezed. Oh, Jason Baker went for the high line. Just got a little tight and squeezed him up there. 46 there. 46 and the 7 come together there on that one. Doesn't look like too much damage on that truck. Maybe a little bit of right front. I'm interested to see. Maybe try to see if we can get a look. Oh, there we go. A little bit of right rear damage there. Let's see if we can catch a look at the 7 and see if we can get anything on his damage. Just that hard squeeze up there on the wall. A little bit there on that right side fender. We can see a little bit of a smush in. Right rear looks to be pretty fine though from that corner there. A little bit of a run in there as we see Jason Baker is 3 laps down. I think he actually had a connection issue. I believe he did. He's now 3 laps down. He was our two-time stage winner here in this race. So obviously very glad that he got those points. But obviously he didn't want to try to incur any damage here, trying to get those laps back. But we will see the 7 back here in P14, 3 laps down. Walters is in the lead lap, so a little bit of damage is not going to help that truck drive any better here as we creep further into the darkness and a little bit colder of a track. And I believe we're going to have some takers here on pit road, Trevor.
We are. I mean, stage 3 started on lap 6, 7, and it's been about, sorry, I had to. It's been about 11 laps, and that is actually right at the beginning of where the pit window is, where tires will have a very meaningful indent on your race. And so a lot of the field decided to come in, take their set early because they feel like this is going to be a long green flag. And so we will see how that works out for them. Now, obviously, we had a few people to stay out there, 2 to be exact, Christopher Hockley and Derek Grigsby. And what this allows them to do is say, hey, I stayed out. I didn't take my tires. I'm saving them for later. And so if there's some late race drama, they can essentially come in and have one more set of tires to take those tires, come back out on track at a lower position on the grid, but have better tires than the rest of the field for them to actually go through the field and pass everybody. So a little bit of pit strategy coming into play here on this race tonight. I mean, we'll see if it works out for them. A lot of the times when you do have a staggered tire difference, I mean, it's a huge difference. I know these trucks have up to about a second of difference between new tires and old tires. So we will see how that turns out for them later on tonight.
So we look on here, we start trying to get this field reset. We see the 4 has made his way up to P3 here. Vincent, he has been our highest mover, up 11 spots here. He has been slicing and dicing his way up here, making his time. He had a really fast pit stop. He may have done a fuel only, Trevor. We forgot the one part here in all that strategy talk. These 2 leaders still need fuel, I think. I don't think they're going to be able to stretch that fuel that far all the way for this entire last bit of this race. So one thing we need to watch on, if we don't get a yellow here, they're probably going to have to make a green flag stop, which is really going to hurt them with these guys already on stickers and with hopefully enough fuel in their part, have enough fuel to make it to the end here.
Most definitely. And so, I mean, if they are going to have to take a pit stop, that's essentially going to put them a lap down. So that can throw a really big curveball for them. Say maybe they came in and just got fuel, maybe they wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But I mean, considering they didn't take tires, they are really committed to the bit. They are saying, look, there is going to be another caution. We've had a decent amount of cautions earlier in this race, and so is, pretty likely that there could be another caution, but never mind all that talk. The pace truck is in, and we are green, and Christopher Hockley gets a great jump, and he's cleared Derek Grigsby and the rest of the field. Michael?
Let's watch on here. Let's watch these fresh tires come on attack here. That should be the 2 and the 29. Sperling and Sonodara should be our first 2 on stickers. Let's see how fast they can make a move here and make a push for these leaders. We see the 4, I believe, like I said, I believe maybe a 2 tire, maybe only fuel. He was the first one off pit road, so a lot faster than off pit road than these guys. So we'll keep an eye on that. As we see the 4 and the 2 side by side there, the front 3 have all got single file and just trying to be efficient, knowing they're already at a deficit here. Joshua Baker as well in P3. He's going to look under Grigsby. 4 getting a little tight there. You can see him almost have to sit in the middle of the corner. Maybe he's not trying to get all the way to the bottom there. As we watch on, the 2 clears the 4. 58 diving inside there. Oh, 58 blinking. He lost for a little bit. See if he comes back. Don't see him yet. 58 somewhere out here. We don't know where he is.
And I do think that they threw him out and backed him to pits. So this is one of the nuances with doing sim racing is if something happens on maybe iRacing side with the servers, or maybe your internet goes out, they boot you straight back to the pits, no second chances, because they can't get a clear connection of where you are on the track. And so, I mean, it's a tough break for him. We've seen people come back from these issues, but it's been something that's been plaguing iRacing a lot recently. I know it's happened to me. It's happened to other people that I know. And so with this most recent update, we will see if he's able to overcome that. But looking back out on track, Christopher Hockley is still comfortably in the lead, or kind of comfortably, I should say. Grigsby is only a 10th behind him. That is within overtaking room, and looking behind him, there's a lot of battling going on as we're watching Jared Mahone trying to overtake for P10. He's battling with Walters there, and I mean, they are battling it out from front to rear. I mean, he's giving Caleb Sibbett there a bump down the backstretch, saying, hey, if you go faster, it helps me. And so this is one of those tracks where you kind of are able to help people, and he's actually said, no, I got too good of a run in that corner. Now I'm challenging for P9, and he's got P9, and he's still looking ahead. He's below Jesse Sperling right now in that beautiful van truck there, and he is up to P8 now, Jared Mahone is, so he's kind of having a late race. You know, he's got back, he's gotten back, he's gone up, but looking ahead, Derek Grigsby is actually being challenged for P2 right now by Sonodara, who presumably has the better tires right now, and behind him is Seth Owens trying to follow him through on that low line. Now, with newer tires, the low line should theoretically be faster than old tires on top, but I mean, the thing about it is you can really work somebody from the high line. So Derek Grigsby is doing a really good job at that. He's still got his nose there on that rear right quarter panel, still challenging, but wasn't able to get it, and he moves back and is now fighting for P3 and potentially P4 as we look back and see Emil Duna in that beautiful Coca-Cola truck. I love me some Coke. And Derek Grigsby actually slots down into P number 4 right there. Christopher Hockley still ahead. He's still the leader, but 2 tenths behind him is Sonodara, who has blood in the water, for lack of a better term. He smells it, he knows it, and I'm sure Christopher Hockley knows it as well. And so we're getting ready to see that battle, but I do believe that Seth Owens is actually saying, no, Sonodara, I need to be where you are. I should be battling for the lead, because one thing it's harder to overtake somebody on equal tires when you're in the lead, when you're in clean air. But if you have somebody in front of them with worse tires,
I think we lost her for a little bit there. Don't worry, it's not just an iRacing. We have these technical issues. Sometimes it happens out here in the pod booth. As we see Owens dive the inside of Sonodara here. We're going to see Seth Owens go make his move for P2, and he's going to clear easy. I think Sonodara's is going to give that up, not try to push those tires, try to cool him back off here. He's looking for the other side. I do want to shout out Emil Duna, though, up to P4. Have not said his name up here in the front a lot today, but here he is, biding his time, working up here. He's going to try to hope these two ahead of him push hard and try to capitalize there. If everything goes right for him, saves his tires, keeps his pace, he might be able to get a P2 out of these two battling each other ahead of him. As we watch on, Hockley still your leader, but they're growing ever closer to him. Seth Owens leading a charge on the high side, trying to get the run, trying to get the draft there to put it around Christopher Hockley to see if he can make anything here. And nope, looks like Seth Owens maybe got a little bit of a wall there. A lot of speed loss there. We're going to see Sonodara dive back under, and Duna's going to go with there as well. Duna and Owens now side by side here. Seth Owens on the high line. Duna, no draft help to really kind of help him. He's not super tight for a side draft to really drag himself down the door, but he's going to hold tight there on the outside. That is the 7 who was trying to go get one of those laps back. He's going to try to get the leader, try to fight his way back to be 2 laps down is what he's hoping to do. Trevor, you still there yet?
I am back, and we were just talking about sim racing and internet connection, and it appears that it's biting me again as well. But looking back, still a battle for P number 3, fighting for the podium. Behind him is that 7 truck there, trying to make his way past Seth Owens. Do believe that is Grigsby, actually, or not Grigsby, sorry. That would be Duna. I'm confused.
Jason Baker is the 7.
It's the 7. It's the 7. Oh, it's sorry. I step away for a second, and oh my God, Christopher Hockley blocks Sonodara down low. They go below the blue line and return onto the racing surface, and that is gifted Seth Owens the lead there. And Emil Duna is now in second, trying to follow Seth Owens through for that second place spot. Still battling the 7 truck. Jason Baker there getting his lap back to get him completely lapped as these leaders are trying to sort themselves out. Seth Owens and Emil Duna are the clear beneficiaries here, but Christopher Hockley still holding on to P3 right now. Sonodara still looking to overtake Hockley there on those presumably better tires, but Hockley is going to run into some issues there on the low line as he's coming up on Jason Baker, that lap truck. Oh, what's this? The lap truck actually goes up and controls the top line now. Oh my word, Jason Baker's just hoping for a caution right now, trying to stay 2 laps down right now. As we see him blinking again a little bit. Let's see if he's able to... Seth Owens gets a little loose there through the front stretch, but Emil Duna coming for the lead. Let's see if he's able to hold on to it on that low line. Looking 3 wide there from Christopher Hockley a little bit. Emil Duna still holding on to second place right now. Man, it is really rowdy up here in this top 4.
Yeah, we saw the 7 disappear. We have not seen him re-emerge yet, so I'm assuming he may have gone to the pits. I'll just have to take a look and see if I can find him over there. But as we watch on here, Emil Duna is cranking up the temperature here, trying to go after P1 there. Still fighting P2 with Mickey Sonodara. Christopher Hockley now in P4. He's going to just try to lay back, maybe try to cool those tires off after all of that action right there. As we see Sonodara is going to go for the lead here. See if he clears the 3 here out of 4. Not yet, and I believe he's clear now. He is. Sonodara up to the point over Seth Owens, your new leader in that HendrickCars.com. Christopher Hockley on the high line, Duna on the low line. Duna, maybe he's a little bit hot there on his tires. He's going to fade back into 4th now. Behind them, still hanging back there is the 5 of Grigsby behind this group up here. Duna there is going to fall to 4th. we see Sonodara and Owen still tight battling each other there. 24 is going to try to work on that run, trying to close the gap a little bit on Seth Owens. They're trying to make a move here. He will. 24 going underneath the 3 there. Let's see if he's able to clear him. The person that should like this view is Emil Duna, who should get a draft off of both of these guys if they stay side by side in the close call there. 24 slides up in front of the 3 there. Able to take it. Christopher Hockley there shut the door on him as we see him on the high side here of Sonodara, trying to get that side draft. As we watch on here, we saw him get a little loose there, had to give a little bit more wheel input there. The battle for first is up with these 4 cars. Sonodara now under attack from Christopher Hockley. Hockley made, I think Hockley was able to cool those tires off just a little bit. Now he's back. He's going to try to put the pressure back on the 2 as Duna around the 3 for P3. These guys just keep flip-flopping around here and just fighting for every inch and every spot they can. Hockley's still on the high side, chasing down Sonodara. We see Duna trying to hold off Seth Owens, and he looks like he will. He's actually going to pull away a little bit here. Hockley, though, still trying to calculate on how he wants to make this move on Sonodara. He's probably going to try to see, he's going to highline here. Let's see if he tries to set him up going into 3 here off that highline run he's going to get.
And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you there's still 32 laps left to go in this race, and they are battling it out for this lead, and they've been battling it out all stage long. So, I mean, this is really tight racing here. I mean, I don't know if you're gambling people yourselves, but I think it's a bit early to even be putting bets down. But Vincent up into the wall, looking back into P8 right now, or sorry, now P10, as he lost out on a couple spots there. We're looking back at this further backpack. We see Sperling leading it for P8, and he is 10 seconds behind Sonodara, our leader right now. And I would like a quick mention to Chris Griffin from the chat over there with Ron Griffin showing his support. He's having a pretty good day here. He's in a really good spot, P6. I mean, he's a little bit further back, but with that one caution that we're, you know, people are banking on right now, he's going to be able to tighten up that gap to the people in front to battle for the lead. And I do believe I just heard Christopher Hockley was up into the wall. So, I mean, it could be that those tires, you know, with all that battling, is starting to let go. Oh, as we see Mahone overtaking for P6 right now, as he's low on the backstretch, but Griffin still has that run on that top side. We'll see if that Skittles truck is able to clear Mahone there through the front stretch.
Yep, a lot of tight battle here. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Watching on here. Still some good battles going on amongst the field here. Mahone and Griffin still trying to do that. As we see Brewer maybe trying to start work on there. We do have one on pit road. That should be the 5 of Grigsby. Grigsby going to come in here. First one to come in. This is one of the ones that stayed out. We knew they had to come in for a stop. I believe it was Grigsby, and we had one other one. Trevor, you know off the top of your head. I'm trying to think. It was Hockley as well, if I believe. Quote me if I'm wrong.
I do believe so.
So we'll keep an eye on Hockley. Hockley may be coming in here soon as well. We're going to see, like I said, we see Grigsby going to come in. Go ahead and come in here. He is 1 lap down now from that. We knew he was going to be a lap down from taking that stop. There's too much time on pit road with these guys being so close together. Let's see, throttles back up to get it off. We watch on with our leader, Mickey Sonodara, pacing things out here in that HendrickCars.com Chevrolet truck. Right behind him, Emil Duna in the 14 truck. I'm sorry, the 8 truck. 14 on the side, 8 on the tower. Got to keep you on your toes around here. Duna still pushing hard, trying to give everything he's got to try to run back down Sonodara. And I believe he's actually closing that gap of 3:10. So keep an eye on that. Look behind. You see Hockley there in P3. Good ways off. About a second and a half almost. Hockley there. I believe these guys have just truly just burned their stuff up trying to run hard against each other. As we watch on, Duna actually is closing the gap on Sonodar, up to 2/10 now. A good clip there out of that one. Maybe a little bit of a wall contact right there from Sonodara. Watching the timing pylon here in the top left of your screen, we can see now down to 2.32. These guys, he's getting closer now. Duna's probably in a little bit close enough to get that draft. You just got to be careful of that dirty air right there. We see him; he's getting a little tight there. We see Duna's gonna peel off the pit road now. I did not have this one in my book as we see Duna come down pit road now. Maybe he had a low fuel. I don't think he did, but Duna down pit road. We'll watch on. Sonodara now absolutely no pressure around him. He will continue with the lead with a 1.7 gap. You see Hockley back there. I mean, he has nobody around him. He's just cruising up here in the lead with 24 laps to go here in this race. No pressure, nothing really to worry about. If I was in his spot, I would go ahead and start trying to work on tire saving as we see a few more. We're going to have another stop here. Maybe they didn't have enough fuel. Maybe they had a 2-stop here with the way they did the fuel. Obviously, we don't have that exact number for the calculation, but obviously that means they set the fuel up to where they had to make these 2 stops here. As we see Hockley coming on pit road with 2 others behind him, which now begs the question: when is Mickey Sonodara going to come in and give up that number 1 spot? Looks like not this time. He's going to keep rolling out there. We'll see how long Mickey hangs out here. We see, because I had a couple more come in there, so we're going to keep our eyes open here, see how they play it. Right now, your leader still Sonodara. Mahone is now up to P2. Vincent P3. And as I change that, we're shaking up again. Hockley into pit road. No, Hockley's still on pit road. Starting to update. Excuse us. Mickey Sonodara P1. Mahone P2. Mr. Jesse Sperling P3 there. As we watch on here. Way on back there.
Ooh, and Seth Owens returning to the racetrack. We're going to see how big that tire deficit is as he just got some brand new rubber there in front of that beautiful 29 Jesse Sperling van truck. Shout out Van, you know, a little pat on the back from the broadcast booth. But man, in one corner, you can see how big of a gap that opens up with those fresher tires. And so this really begs the question, you know, when are these guys going to pit? You know, these guys that are still staying out. You know, we talk about it just about every week, the overcut versus undercut, where if you undercut, meaning that you pit early, you're able to return to the track and put in some really good laps against the people that are on older tires. And so you're able to really, once those guys do pit, as we see Sonodara coming into pit, you know, create a huge lead, you know, presumably, against those guys that stayed out. But then there is the vice versa to that, the overcut, where you stay out as long as possible so that you have fresher tires there at the end. So a couple of different strategies going into play, but what's this? Sperling leading this lap. Well, he's getting challenged by Caleb Sibbett, which was our pole sitter for tonight. But guess what? The van livery is in the lead, so beautiful sight to see. Sorry, gotta plug Van where we can. But Caleb Sibbett there, about a 10th or 2 off of him. In that Kyle Busch tribute scheme, still challenging for the lead for the moment, that is. And this is a very important part of the race. You're going into pit stops. You've got to place your truck as high as you humanly possibly can as we're late in this race, so that whenever you come out of the pits, you'll have even better spot on track. But here comes Chris Griffin in the 12 truck, who has fresh tires, and man, you can see, I mean, it wasn't that hard to just pass these guys, because I mean, like I said earlier, running probably about a second slower per lap as opposed to the people on fresh tires. So we're seeing that play out right now. A lot of these guys have been able to get their lap back that have pits. as we've seen a lot of people uh, have gone in, but only the top 3 remain of Vincent, Sibbett, and Sperling that haven't pit. Everybody else is pit. And so you can really see that reflected in how spread out they are. So pit stops really spread out a field because you have to have a really good pit stop, really fast entry, really fast off, and all of these factors go into play. As we see Jared Mahone in the 26 truck under them battling to get his lap back. As he does, he is back on the lead lap and he is not slowing down. He is keeping on trucking. Michael?
Yeah, that opened up, Jared Mahone opened up the door for Sibbett to get around Sperling there. The Sibbett now is going to take the point here. I am curious, so the longer we run here, how long is this fuel going to last? And how long is Sibbett and Sperling and Vincent going to stay out here? Do they have enough? Are they trying to fuel save on their way into here? We're watching on here. We saw Jared Mahone there. As we watch on here, we see Grigsby here in P4. He is making about 1.5 seconds a lap, so he is absolutely booking it compared to the 3 ahead of him. Trying to go run them back down. Like I said, we only see CJ Brewer still the only car a lap down, so he's going to try to get to Sibbett and Sperling and try to get that lap back. As we watch on here, though, you have Christopher Hockley and Grigsby are battling each other as Hockley and Grigsby on a similar strategy. Hockley a little bit fresher tires there. We saw him come around Grigsby there. Hockley's going to take the point here. He's going to be the one to try to lead this charge to Vincent, who is still about 11.5 seconds ahead of them. But they have, like I said, been cutting it very fast, very quick. But on the next that, we have 13 laps left. That should be enough time for them. But if they start racing each other, pushing each other too hard, heat these tires up, these trucks are not going to like it, and it's really going to end up biting them in the end. As we see, Sibbett and Sperling still out there, just right beside each other, hanging on to each other. Hockley and these two going with each other. There we go. As we see Sibbett and Sperling here, 1 and 2, and Vincent back there. That car is P3. So I think these guys may have enough fuel. They're just going to run this out as far as they can go. But as we speak right now, Hockley is now only 9.6 away from Vincent. So they are closing fast, but they're just hoping that they can keep this thing green and keep themselves out there long enough to make these positions count and get that 1-2 that they're looking for before Christopher Hockley runs them down and gets them.
And with that, I'm just imagining the meme where it's the one person screaming with another one following them, because essentially that's what's happening here. They're trying to run away from those new tires before they catch up to them, because they know once they get to them, there's no possible way that they're going to be able to hold them on for too long. I mean, that's maybe a 1 lap, maybe 2, if they're lucky, lap battle there. So, you know, they're going to hold on as much as they can. Christopher Hockley really closing that gap, as we only have 10 laps left in this race. So still, I mean, we talked about this last week, still plenty of time for stuff to happen, but if it's going to happen, it better start coming down to it. And Hockley's only 4 seconds off of Vincent there in P3. So Hockley getting very close to a podium position. Vincent himself is only 2.8, 2.9 behind Sibbett there in the lead. So we're going to expect to see a lot of that. Vincent actually falling back almost a little bit further, kind of up and down. But Jesse Sperling is still, he says, hey, we're coming down to the end of the race. I don't know if Hockley's going to get here or not, but I'm going to go for the race win. He sees the laps ticking down. He sees the gap, and he's like, look, I've got to make something happen here. I've got to get this in first place at some point this race for me to at least say, hey, I went for the win. So he's definitely going for that win. He's within overtaking range just about 2/10 off. That's well within the drafting range. The drafting range is about 4/10 at most. 3 to 4/10. He's well within that range as we see him dipping down to 1/10 there. So, I mean, we're going to see a lot of drafting on the backstretch to give him that overspeed to make these moves. And so he's just biding his time, waiting for Sibit to make that mistake, generate just a little bit too little speed for Sperling to make that move, go for that lead, and get that win. So we're watching that here as we are coming to, what is this? Oh, and we have lap traffic as well. Let's see if we can get a look at who this is. I do believe that's, it's not CJ Brewer, but Walters, I do believe. So Walters out there in that 46 truck, Caleb Sibit's coming up on him, trying to lap that. But as this is going on, Hockley is up into P3. He's only 3.9 off of Sibit right now as we come to 5 laps to go. So 5 laps to go, 3.9 seconds. Can it be done? I mean, we did say that they run about a second slower, so mathematically he should have the time so long as he holds this pace. So we'll see if he's able to do that.
Yeah, we'll watch on here. I'm starting to get antsy over here, Trevor. Time's getting close. Like, so they wanted the 43 and the 29 wanted Vincent to hold up Hockley as much as they could. But we still see here Hockley 3.4 off these guys. Hockley's also going to have to deal with the 46 of Walters, who shouldn't give too much of a trouble, but you never know. You said sometimes lap traffic could be a little weird. But as we run right now, Hockley 3.1. So let's see if we can get a jump on how much time. So 3.1 here at the stripe. Let's see how much he gets here in a lap. I don't think he's having such a rate that he was. I think he's honestly pushed hard with everything he says. We see Vincent has come down pit road. Oh boy, I wonder if he's at low on fuel. I'm telling you what, Trevor, this is getting me nervous. Sibit and Sperling still out here running with everything they've got. 2.8 behind. So about 3/10 a lap is about what it is. Sperling keeps closing up to Sibit. He may get under him this time. Yes, he is. Here comes Jesse Sperling looking under Caleb Sibit. Sperling drives up. Sibit trying to go for the crossover. Oh, hold on. We're getting dicey here. We're down to 3 to go. This is helping Hockley, roping him in 2.5 seconds. I still don't think Hockley's got enough speed right now to catch him, but we're going to have to hold on here. Sperling to the point. Sibit behind, trying to run him back down. Hockley trying to get both of these guys, and he's holding steady 2.2. I just don't think it's going to be enough, Trevor. I really don't. I think this is the race right here. Question is, do they have the fuel? Has Jesse Sperling and Caleb Sibit saved enough? Do they have enough in that truck to get these things around here 2 more times? Hockley around the 46, so Hockley is straight away 2 seconds flat. Sperling fighting for his life here as we will come around. Oh man, we're getting close. I'm running out of breath here. Sibit 0.15 behind Jesse Sperling. He's running out of time here to make a move. Final lap, the white flag is out. This is all for everything. Sibit on the high side, Sperling on the low line. Sibit going for the high line. I don't think he's going to get the run to get beside him. He will. Sibit on the outside. Sperling got to get up there and side draft him. Don't lose him. Jesse drives it in here to 3. Sperling on the inside. Sibit on the outside. Hockley's not going to make it there. It's a race between the two. Oh, and Sperling's out of gas. Sperling ran out of gas. Sibit, you're a winner. And a thriller to the line. I believe Jesse Sperling is out of gas. He is. Jesse Sperling has ran out of gas. It was so close.
Wow. And I've got to ask, was he sputtering there on the low line to give Sibit that run on the high line? Oh my word, that was a race all the way to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what, I'm shaking like a kid on Christmas morning. I can't keep my knee still. That was a amazing finish to this Charlotte race here, as we can actually see people out of fuel there in turn number, I believe that's 1 or 2. But man, what a beautiful race. As we actually have Tony Sibbett agreeing with me, and we will be back for these interviews. You can actually see Sperling getting pushed there to the pits from his teammate Sonadara there, pushed onto the front stretch.
I think he's
Man,
going to push him into the spotlight here. Let him get a nice wave to the crowd as they all go by each other. Sperlinger P2 placer, but all matters about the 43, your winner tonight. Sonadara's going to drop him off there. Sibbett maybe out of fuel too. We're waiting for a burnout. See if we can get one. I don't hear that engine running, so he may be out of gas too.
I think he is. So I guess yeah, the engine's dead. Wow, he is out of gas. It came right down to the line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's trying. Ah, nah. But he did leave us with a very beautiful sight of his truck there on the start finish line. Man, that was beautiful. Running that paint scheme honoring Kyle Busch there, and man, and we will be back for these driver interviews. But first, we are going to go through the running order, or the finishing order, that is. Caleb Sibbett, obviously our winner there, out of fuel, sitting on the start finish line. Beautiful race. Started pole. He was battling all race, up there constantly top 5, and he was able to pull it out there at the end in the last corner of the last lap for that win. But moving on to second place, Jesse Sperling, the one that ran out of fuel. Man, he's had a great race too. I know that he kind of started back a little bit and then had to make his way all the way up to the front, and man, he did it well. It was very beautiful watching him in that van livery. So great race from him. Behind him, third place, rounding out our top 3, Christopher Hockley. Man, Christopher Hockley, he was a force to be reckoned with this race a lot. I mean, he was constantly top 3, led some laps, a lot of laps actually. Christopher Hockley there, very strong finish. Excited to talk to him. I mean, he was able to close it there down to 1.6 seconds off of Caleb Sibbett. Fourth place, we have Mickey Sonadara. Again, another hard hitter this race. He was constantly fighting up there. We've seen him do really well before. And so, man, he's had a good race as well. P5, we have the league owner running that beautiful Coca-Cola truck, Emil Duna. P5, top 5 for him. He had a great race. We've seen him, struggling a little bit. It was good to see him get this top 5. He had a great race as well. He was constantly battling up there in stage number 3. And P6, we have Seth Owens, who I'm sounding like a broken record because we had so many battles for the lead. Seth Owens, who was running good tonight as well. 7th, we have Jared Mahone, who'd been battling a lot this race, kind of couldn't really get a foothold a lot, but he was able to pull out a P7. P8, we're going to have the 5 of Derek Grigsby. He did very well. He was actually the person that stayed out with, I believe that was Christopher Hockley, and he was up there running, but had to pit. P9 is going to be the 12 of Chris Griffin, old money cards. Go get them. 10th is going to be Justin Walters. He's kind of a newer face, and so he was able to get the 10th spot with 1 lap down.
Man, in P11, we have the 4 of Brett Vincent, another one that was shaking up there near the end. Unfortunately, a lap down, he had to go stop for fuel. 12th, we have the 83 of CJ Brewer. P13, the 7 of Jason Baker, stage 1 and 2 winner. Obviously got a little bit of network trouble there, 42 laps down. The 14th, the 58 of Joshua Baker. Also has some internet trouble there. And the 15 of Patrick Schaffer, who I do not believe raced today.
And man, this has been a great race here at Charlotte in the HPRL Truck Series. Quite excited to talk to this top three. I'm sure they've got a lot to say. Last time looking at the comments here, we have a congratulations from Old Money Cards for congratulations to Sibit. I can't say that whole thing because this is on YouTube, but I don't want to cuss. And then also, I believe this is Jason Baker saying that he wished he didn't have computer issues, felt like he had a good shot at that W, as with a lot of these people in this race. So tough breaks for him. But looking over, let's see if we can't drag our third place finisher up here, which is going to be, I believe, Christopher Hockley. So let's see if we can move him up here. Christopher, you got us?
Yes, sir.
How you feeling?
A little disappointed I didn't win, but I'll take third.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you short pitted that, and you did a really good job at coming through this field. You got your lap back, came all the way around the track again, and was able to there at the in the closing laps almost get up there. Kind of talk us through that pit cycle and battling all the way back up there.
Well, that last caution there, I didn't pit with everybody else. I stayed out. I thought I made a mistake, and then just kept hitting my line. Was worried that everybody else could make it, and wasn't gonna have a good finish. But I nailed the pit stop, got back out there with 4 fresh tires, then ran everybody down, and came up short in third place.
And I will say, looking back in the race, y'all were battling just constantly for that lead. Especially there in stage number 3. I mean, it's been throughout the entire race, but you were constantly right there in that battle. Kind of talk us through, what it's like to be in one of those battles.
It's a lot of fun when you know you can do it. I was trying not to race them too hard, just letting them use up their tires and not push it too hard and kind of get what I could get in the stages.
I got you. And I'm going to throw the mic over to Michael and see if he has any questions for you.
Howdy, Christopher. Obviously, we're not going to try to beat a dead horse here. Obviously, not the outcome you were looking for there. Just kind of curious on maybe is there anything you think you could have tried differently, done a little bit different there once you did pit, trying to run them down? Do you think maybe you pushed a little too hard? Obviously, just too big of a gap for you to make up in that amount of time frame.
No, I was running them down pretty good there. I think the only other thing that I could have done different is pit at that caution with them guys and save like they did, and do a bit of a tight 3-way truck race for the win.
Yes, sir. Obviously, like I said, P3 is not bad, but obviously everybody wants to have that W. So thank you, sir, and hope you have a good night.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And with that, I'm going to throw the mic over to you, Christopher. I'm sure you've got some people back home you may want to shout out, maybe some sponsors that need their plug. The mic is yours.
Yeah, I got to thank my buddy Steve with Jiffy Lube of Mechanicsburg and Camp Hill. He helps me out a lot. And I didn't have Jiffy Lube on this truck because it's Memorial Day weekend. I had the American flag on it. And a little emotional tonight. My cousin called me and told me my aunt was on hospice, and they said that she has 30 days to live. And then I went to dinner, come back, and see that my favorite driver died. So, yeah, pretty shitty.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously, this is a very hard day. Honestly, one of the hardest races that I've ever broadcasted. So I'm sorry to hear that. I send my condolences to you and your family, and if you ever need anything, just let me know.
Thank you. Thank you guys for all the broadcasts you do. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
And congrats to Caleb on his win. He kicked ass.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, congratulations on P3 tonight, Christopher. We know you fought hard. I'm gonna send you back to the waiting room. Congratulations again.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
And coming up tonight, we have our P2 finisher of Jesse Sperling. Let's bring him up here. Jesse, you got us?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I think we're all in a little state of depression right now, but after getting our minds off of it with racing, a little better. P2 will make you
Yes.
feel pretty good.
Yes, sir. I completely understand that. I was actually just talking about how hard this broadcast is. Hard to have a uppity mood while that's going on. But looking back over towards the race, you had a very good race yourself, rocking that beautiful van livery. It was good seeing a van guy get top three there. Talk us through your race, man. We saw you down and then up and then all over the place and came home with P2. Talk us through it.
Well, shout out to Alexich for the paint scheme. First off, I love it, dude. It's awesome. And then the race, the first two stages are just about trying to figure out what everybody else is going to do and how much you need to save, and then setting up for that last stage. And then we were set to pit in that last stage. We were going to cut it in half. And, we figured we had the tire saving figured out. And then that caution come out right after the stage started. And Caleb and I both looked down at the dash and was like, we can save enough here. And the rest is history.
Yes, sir. And I do have to ask. It looked like he had a really good run out of two there on the final lap. It almost looks like your truck was a little bit down on power, and then obviously you ran out of fuel there on the front stretch. At what point did your truck start sputtering
It
on
started
that last
sputtering
lap?
about halfway through turns 3 and 4. I knew he was to my outside, but that last lap, we were just going to gun it. I knew it was going to be close, but he had saved a little bit more than me. He was riding in my draft. And we switched there for a little bit, and I got a little bit of his draft. It just wasn't enough to beat him tonight.
I understand. A tough break, but still came home with a very good finish. I'm gonna throw the mic over to Michael, otherwise known as Alexich, and see if he has a question for you.
Well, Jesse, obviously we did say that you were looking for a rebound here, so apparently we had a little bit of pixie dust there on that truck for you tonight.
Yeah, dude. Might run it next week too.
Hey, we definitely won't mind. Obviously, like I said, obviously, a big fuel run here. A just awesome race to watch y'all fuel save there at the end. Just kind of curious on how would you think, like I said, do you think you could save any more there? Is that just everything you have there in that last corner? And do you think, if you had it, do you think you'd be able to hold off that outside charge from Caleb there? Maybe you're going to try to squeeze him to the side draft coming to the line there.
I think if I had enough fuel, I would have beat him. And he's going to come in here and tell you something else. But no, I just didn't like the whole run. We were saving. The number was going up, and then all of a sudden it just plateaued, and it was right at the end of the race for me. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to have enough. But it is what it is.
That's right. Well, like I said, P2 is obviously a good rebound that you were looking for there. So obviously, congratulations on that. Hopefully we get a little bit better of a weekend after the day we had today. But other than that, we'll let you take the mic there for shout out anybody you want to talk to or your sponsor plugs.
Thank Vickers Auto Parts. Thank Teammates Caleb. We got Mickey on board now on the 864 Motorsports. Thank my wife for letting me do this. thank everybody that watched tonight. I know my mom and my aunt and a couple other people were watching. Thank you guys for putting it on. Thanks for the paint scheme. You guys do a really good job. It's good to see you guys again.
Good to see you as
Um,
well.
and you know, it's like I said, it's been an emotional day, and I just want to put it out there to hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, because you never know when it's going to be the last time. So thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna send you back to the waiting room.
See you guys.
See ya. And coming up, our first place finisher, our winner, Caleb Sibbett, is coming up right now. Caleb, you got us got a copy?
Oh, I got you.
How you feeling?
Like Kyle Busch said, put it in victory lane and park it.
Hey, roll tide to that. Uh, so yeah, sorry. Still emotional day, but that was a very long race. You actually got the pole on that race. We talked to earlier tonight, actually. And so, good talking to you again, by the way. You had a lot of, you led that first stage a lot, and then you kind of got knocked out of the lead, and then you came back and was constantly fighting for that lead, and then was able to clinch it right here at the end in the last corner on the last lap. Kind of talk us through that. Kind of talk us through your race.
Yeah, I had 3 goals for this race. The first goal was to put the M&M's machine, a Kyle Busch, on the pole. The second goal was to lead lap 8 and give him a little tribute, and I hope y'all saw that. I'm sure y'all did a moment of silence or something on that side. I thought that was really cool. That was honestly worth more to me than winning stage 1. And then the last goal, of course, was to win the thing at the end. By the end of stage 1, honestly, I burnt my stuff up because I was bound and determined to lead, going on to that caution tribute for 8. So happy I did that, and honestly burned them off afterwards, but it was well worth it. Still got stage points in 1 and 2, and then at the end, got the win. So yeah, it really exciting. It was a great day.
And I will say it was like, don't get me wrong, I don't play favorites at all, especially as a broadcaster, but it was really good seeing the M&M's truck win this race in memory of Kyle Busch, obviously. So I was really happy to see that on a personal level. So I'm happy you were able to get that done, and congratulations again. And I gotta moving forward with the interview. Talk us now. We just talked to Jesse, and I asked him when he ran out of fuel. I'm gonna ask your perspective of the last lap because, I mean, Michael and I both, we were shaking like a kid on Christmas morning. Like it was insane. The racing was amazing, and I mean, it came, like I said, last corner of the last lap. Talk us through that. You know.
Yeah, no, we timed it perfect right from the start. We knew we were gonna save, so we started clutching, of course, the corners, saving fuel right from the jump. So y'all saw us fade back. That was our MO on that side. Jesse was in front of me. I was drafting on, so we were kind of feeding off each other on how many laps we had left. I had about 2 more, so about lap 20 or so, I got in front of him and told him to draft me. Saved him enough, and then he was like, "Well, you gonna let me back by you?" And the only fair thing to do is, heck yeah, let him back by me, and let's sort this out at the end. So we're watching Hockley, of course, fast as lightning, coming up on us, but we kept that gap, and then at the end, I said, "Hey, last lap, we're going for it," and I gunned it. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised it stick because I didn't have any tire left, but stayed off that wall. Ran him in 1 and 2. He raced me clean, had a good run on the back stretch, and then 3 and 4. I was going for the checker flag. I did hear his portion about maybe winning it if he didn't sputter, but I'm telling you right now, there wasn't nothing beating that M&M strut tonight.
I gotcha.
Teammate or not, something would have happened. We would have been beating and banging. It would have been a heck of a finish, but we still would have been talking at the end, I think.
Oh, you can't. especially not your teammates, can't just let somebody buy on you. So I understand that aspect to it. Everybody's a competitor, even if it's your own mom on the track. You still gotta race them. So, but anyways, I'm gonna throw the mic over to Michael. See if he has any questions for you.
Well, Mr. Simmett obviously got where he wanted to be. I'm sure you hopped out of that truck and did a bow for old Rowdy out there. So obviously, wanted to give first congratulations on your win today. Started on the pole, great race overall. The biggest thing is, I don't really have a question here, just more so of a comment. Just wanted to confirm that we had just spoke with Jesse, and obviously you caught a little piece of it there. And Jesse did tell us that no matter what he said, you were definitely going to come back and say that you had this win no matter what. So obviously, just a little bit of a chuckle out of us here in the booth to go ahead and have that confirmed for us. But other than that, like I said, I don't have a question, but congratulations on that win. Obviously, glad to see that M&M scheme up there here. I believe he did win a race here in that scheme, if I'm correct on that one. But glad to see a Kyle Busch tribute be able to get the win here on today, and hopefully we can remember him off of that and continue the season on.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I knew Jesse would say that, but at the end of the day, he knows.
All right, sir. We're going to give you the floor. The floor is all yours. If you want to do your shout outs or your sponsor plugs.
Yeah, shout out one of the best racers to ever do it. Of course, the number 18, number 8, Kyle Busch. Really sad news today. I'm glad we can do this. Of course, it's kind of a tribute to him as well. Really shocking news for everybody, but man, that's tough. There was none better, whether you liked him or hated him. I mean, he was always going to be one of the best to ever do it. Of course, shout out to my teammates Mickey and Jesse. They've been practicing a lot this week, and we had a good strategy on that side. Got a good team for next season. I think I'm second in points. Don't see myself catching Jerry, but this definitely helps. I'll at least make him sweat a little bit.
That's right. Got to keep him honest, as they say. Got to keep him honest.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for your race today. Obviously, have a good night, and we appreciate you coming out here.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you. I'm gonna move you back to the waiting room so we can get on with our outro. So moving over, we're actually going to throw up our schedule to see what is to come. So obviously we just had Charlotte on tonight, but looking forward, do believe we have Nashville coming up next week. The week after is going to be Michigan. Two very, very good tracks for racing, very wide, very overtakey, if you will. So maybe we could see another race like tonight. And then it is into our championship race, the finale, which is going to be broadcasted over here at Van. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, very excited to see the closing rounds of this league. Very good racing all throughout, very good drivers. So moving over, I would like to take a moment, as we've taken multiple, rightfully so, to shout out, or not even shout out, but just talk. The death of Kyle Busch weighs heavy on these drivers' hearts, as they do on ours here at Van. As you look through the field, you'll see throwbacks to Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch was not just a driver in NASCAR, but a husband, a father, and most of all, he will be missed by all in the motorsport realm. So, you know, he owned that. He owned a children's nonprofit and a non-fertility nonprofit as well. So he was a very good man. He will be missed. And I'm sorry, it's just hard. But you know, moving forward, this was brought to you by Van Veterans and Affiliated Networking, where anybody that is a veteran, maybe a first responder, is invited to come over and geez, sorry. Veterans and Affiliate Networking, we are a soon-to-be nonprofit looking to help veterans with coaching for everything iRacing, from getting better at racing over here at broadcasting, and Paints VAN, Veterans and Affiliate Networking, is looking to help veterans in iRacing at no cost to them. If you have anything that you want to slide our way, sponsorships, or looking to hop in the van, could you say, you can email us at veterans and affiliated network at gmail.com. Again, that is veterans and affiliated networking at gmail.com. Send us an email and send you over to Thaddeus. But that is all for Charlotte tonight over here in the HPRL High Performance Racing League, and we will see you next time at Nashville Super Speedway. Thank you all for watching, and good night.